What's going on, guys, and welcome to Poeboys. And in this episode, we're finally working on Yeet again in the shop. So we're gonna get Yeet going here. There's a lot of work to be done, and I think I'm gonna make something happen yet again. I'm so indecisive with myself, but we're making something happen finally. Y'all are really gonna hate me for this, but just let's get started working on the car. The plans for what's going on in the future are for y'all to find out in the future, which is why you need to subscribe. And that's, trust me, it's really just confusing, but it'll all make sense in the end. Yeet car right here. We have the most assortment of just random stuff. There's a dash right there, just like some random stuff. There's the cowboy hat I wore at the North Carolina meet. There's just a lot of random stupid stuff inside of this car because this is what I use to transfer most of the stuff from in my garage to my house. And I just kept it inside the car, and now it's time to clean all of it out because it's time to do something with the car. So commence trash removal. Alright guys, so I have the car pretty much stripped of most of everything now, actually. We have the whole wiring harness. I took everything out, so now there's no wiring harness inside of this car at all except for the harness coming off of the trunk, which is just like some small wires and some other connectors. Got a ground down there for the battery relocate kit. But other than that, this car is pretty much stripped. I will say it does need to get some interior love because this just looks terrible, honestly. I need to give this car a little bit of love. So I put the dash in there just to kind of mock it back up, just to see what it looked like. Oh boy. I kicked the valve cover. Put the dash back in there just to see what it would look like. And also this strap right here, the reason why that guy right there is because the motor, whenever we put it in, we had the cheap version of Harbor Freight's engine cherry picker, and we could only go so far, and we accidentally put it on the wrong engine mount, so we need to move it one further back and it would be fine, but it wasn't enough for us to be able to bolt up the transmission cross member. So we had to hold it up with a 2.5-inch freaking ratchet strap because that's what we do in Poeboys, and that's how we do. Close this guy up right here, and one thing that I do need to do is install a steering rack on this car because currently we have nothing as far as steering. I have a pair of channel locks right in there. You can kind of see them hanging right there holding onto my steering shaft. That is no bueno when it comes to doing anything steering wise. You can't really steer with channel locks that well, but luckily for y'all, I have Motion Raceworks Mustang steering column that's super lightweight with the strange quick disconnect steering hub is going on Yeet, and this thing right here will be a freaking unit on that car because it'll be super light, super easy to deal with, and won't have to do really much in order to get it in there. All I gotta do is take that U-joint right there and connect it to the stock steering rack joints right there and get that thing in there. So we're gonna have to go ahead and do that. All right guys, so now I'm inside of Yeet, and what I'm gonna do is finish what I started. Taking out this here speaker mounting thing right here, we're gonna add a cross brace eventually here so that way we still have some structural rigidity. We'll do that with a cage eventually, but I want to go ahead and cut the rest of this out because that's just sheet metal that isn't really serving any good because we're gonna be able to tie these points together with a cage later on. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut all this stuff out, which really just takes time.
When I walk through the street alone.
Holy cow, that's loud. Here's one piece. There we go. Alright guys, so now that we cut that out, if you can look inside of here, just the amount of room that is just open up and usable back here that just isn't anything. So now we have so much more room for a cage, and all that just random metal for the speakers that go back there is gone because we don't need speakers. This is a race car. So most everything is out, and it honestly looks really good. We got to clean up those edges right there. You can see how they're a little rough. We can clean those up with a grinder, probably get them looking really good, but I think this thing looks a lot better as far as knowing that we're going to brace it with the cage side to side so that we don't have any body roll, because if you cut out a structural part, you have to reinforce it with another structural part, but we're taking that out and replacing it with the cage. So it would be a lot nicer whenever that car actually is up together and going, and it'll keep the car together and have a lot less body roll or body sway. So look at this. And now here's the drift car. See all the room that Yeet now has because we took that out, and all it is a speaker tray. It sits like that and looks like that too, where we got rid of all of that on Yeet, and now the window's tinted, but you can still see that there is nothing there. There's no more speaker tray. You can definitely see that it's not there, and it looks way better, and it has a lot more space inside the cab of the car now too. All right guys, so we're gonna go ahead and continue this video, and I'm taking a turn for the most crazy thing that I think y'all have probably seen in a minute. I'm about to say something that's gonna make even more people just confused, mad, angry, all the above. Let me know in the comments section down below and help me with the algorithm, because I sure would appreciate it. But I'm taking out the freaking 2-valve and I'm selling that because I wanna do what I wanna do with that car, and those plans are to put a different motor in there, and that's not a 2-valve V8 automatic transmission. I can take that, sell that for about 12 to 1500 bucks, somewhere around there. I don't know exactly what they go for, but I'm gonna go ahead and sell that engine out of that car because I know this is a Yeet video and I know y'all wanna see it, and man, I really do wanna give y'all more videos, but right now, just because of what I have going on, there's just not much Yeet stuff I can do, because simply I could put all of that stuff back together and make it just a 2-valve, and it would be kind of cool, but at the same time, that car deserves something a lot better than a Ford power plant. But that's not for right now, that's for a little bit later. Let's continue to take the freaking engine out of Yeet, guys. I apologize, but we're doing it. So there it is right there. There's the engine. Went down to Gavin's shop. Thank you, Gavin. It's just a 6. All y'all know who he is. If you don't, he's up there. He makes videos. He's got cars, kind of like I do. But we're gonna go ahead, take the bumper off, headlights out, and hood off, and we should be able to get this thing out pretty simple and easy. So let's go ahead and start. All right, so when I built this car right back here, I had simplicity in mind, which basically means I wanted to make it as simple as possible in order for me to, if I wanted to put a 2J in it one year, I could put a 2J in it. If I wanted to put a 2-valve in it, I could put a 2-valve in it. But guess what? I put a 2-valve in it, and guess what? I've had enough of Ford engines. Thing hasn't even started. I haven't even put any effort into it. It's not Ford's fault. It's literally my fault. I just decided I don't want to do it. So we already know that part. Let's go ahead, get this thing out of here. I got 4 bolts for the bumper, 4 bolts for the headlight bracket, and then 4 bolts for the hood, and then 2 pins for the headlights, and then engine's coming out. The whole front end's off of this thing. Let me show you how easy it is. Broke my rod holder. My rod holder was my engine, was my hood prop. I'll just put it the other way. That's fine. That'll do it. All right, headlights. Easy as that, uninstalled. Now you got a pin right here and a pin right here. And the whole bumper's right here. And now we got a bolt right there, and right there, right here, and right here. Valence is out. There's a hood. So here's the beautiful 4.6 2-valve 2004 140,000 engine, no problems at all. This engine's actually in perfect condition. I'm about to put this thing up for sale. Pick up in North Louisiana. I'm not going to be able to ship this thing out because it's just way too big for all that. And we don't have freight or a forklift or anything like that, so local pickup only for this guy. Shouldn't be too bad, but it's an automatic trans. Motor runs perfectly fine, and it's just a 2-valve engine. So we're going to take this, sell it, recoup some money to put into a different project. And y'all need to stay subscribed because it's going to be really freaking cool. All right, so now it's time to go ahead, get the engine cherry picker, and pull this thing out. That's gonna be an issue. All right, so the intake is already unbolted, so there's that. Hey, here's a quick tip. If you want any bolts to fit inside of stuff, Honda bolt kit. Get a master bolt kit for any Honda and you pretty much have bolts for anything. Let me show you exactly how that is. And I will say sorry about the noise. There is rain going on right now, but we're in a shop, so I'm freaking living my life working in the rain, baby. We went from barbecue benches to in a shop working in the rain, baby. I wouldn't be doing this right now. Let's get down to these bolts that I was just telling y'all guys about. These guys right here, these are fairing screws right here, and they have a little bit of a kind of a lip to them. So I'm gonna be able to take this bolt and tighten it down all the way and just get enough for that chain to get around in there. So we can connect this chain right here. It'll be pretty easy. All we got to do is do it. Holy cow. The thing almost fell off the thingy thing. All right, guys, so we got a new camera holder right here. I used these lights right here. These lights stand from Harbor Freight. I used that and put the Joby balls that I have on top of there. So now I got a camera stand, and I just zip tied that thing on there because it wasn't zip tied before, and it about threw the camera onto the floor. So let's go ahead and get this on. Alright guys, so this 4.6 has been in here long enough and it's time to say goodbye. Adios. Yo guys, Yeet's bald. That's what I came up with. There ain't nothing in here. Sean!
What the? I literally just like 2 minutes ago, the motor was in the car, and I just look up, and it's just hanging there.
Yeah, bro, we've been getting work done. I know you've been looking on your phone. Sean's been answering emails for his product, the Man's Break. He's making sales on his product, and I'm very proud of him. And y'all should buy one if you have a manual car that wants to actually go fast.
Trying to figure out how to, I don't know. I'm like social media dumb. But just made an Instagram post, look up, and like the whole motor's just hanging there.
Yeah, it's still swinging. I want to take the bell housing off of this engine, and I want to see if a T5 trans will bolt up. If the T5 trans will bolt up, I will put this 4.6 back inside the car with a T5 trans. The T5 trans will not bolt up, then this is getting sold engine and motor combo with all of the running gear. We've got good power steering pump, good compressor, good belts, good alternator. Everything on this motor is good. It got taken out of a running car. Problem is someone ran into the car, which is why we ended up taking it out, because the car was totaled. And I put it inside of this car thinking that I would do that, but here I am yet again, the most indecisive person on YouTube, if I had to say so. I had a twin turbo LS build trying to go on, I had a twin turbo V6 build, and then I've just done so many different things, and the LS didn't go through. The 4.6 isn't going through because I got other plans, guys. But you're gonna be really excited to see what's going on, because we are doing a little bit of stepping backwards, but with stepping backwards comes 2 more steps forward. You're gonna understand a little bit more here in the next few videos. So let's get this nice 2-valve onto some tires so that we won't have to worry about anything, get it out of the way over here somewhere, and have an engine ready to freaking get sold. All right, we're gonna take this fat pig right here of a 4.6 mod motor of automatic transmission, which this can go, but this might be good if we can get the T5 bell housing on. But we're gonna put this in its final resting spot of right now until I can figure out if the T5 bell housing will fit on. If it does, then freaking great news, we're running this thing manual, and if not, then we're selling it because we want more power somewhere else.
Oh, she's spinning.
All right, now. I mean, honestly, it looks fine where it's at. I know it's not. Don't fall. We're gonna have to move it further. All right, coming down. How sturdy is it, though?
Good.
That's not going nowhere. The issue we're currently having is the stock steering shaft for Yeet is supposed to be maybe different. I think I'm supposed to change that if I put the motion column on, but if you can see here, this slips on there. That's no problem. It slips on actually pretty easily. The thing that is kind of hard though is, what does this connect to? That's what confuses me. All I gotta do is figure that out, and that's definitely not the right thing. That's a square, and that's definitely not a square, so I don't know if that'll even fit in there. I don't know. Well, I'll have to do some more research and figure it out, but until then, Yeet won't be steering, but it's worth my car not steering because I have that nice Motion Raceworks drag racing lightweight column in there, which is just bolted in. We need to put the rest of the dash in there, which won't be really much of anything, but we have the column in there. I'm gonna put the dash in, and it just mounts up to this bolt and that bolt right there, and that mounts up to this bolt and that bolt right there. So it's all super simple. We got some work done, got Yeet back taken apart, which I don't know if that's a step in the wrong direction or a step in the right direction, but we're gonna treat it like a step in the right direction and put the car back together with no engine inside of it. All right, guys, so with this car, let me show you the stuff that we've done to it. Took out the engine, assessed the steering rack, and now we know what we'll be able to get there, and put the old headlights in from the drift car. We're gonna swap those out because the drift car is gonna have to look nicer than Yeet right now. I'll get another set of headlights, but like I said, I got 2 sets. It's not worth getting right now. It's not like it needs to look good when there's no engine and no interior in it. But we got no interior in it, like I said, and Motion Raceworks column. Strange quick disconnect. So pretty legit system in here. We're actually gonna try and build this with some nice parts and get the car going, but I'm gonna probably repaint the inside of this eventually because after a while it really did get kind of gummied up and it just doesn't look that solid. But with this video, we did a little bit of progress on Yeet, and hopefully y'all liked it, and you'll understand where I'm going in the next few videos. So that being said, thank y'all very much for watching. Remember to freaking send it. Be great.